Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Wolverine issue 85. It is a tie-in into the Phalanx Covenant crossover. And I have to say that this is one of the worst cases that I've ever read where a crossover totally hijacks a series. Because the story really revolves around Cable and him discovering that possibly Jean Grey and Cyclops are his parents. And that is a gigantic revelation. But the thing is that Wolverine feels totally like a secondary character in his own title. He doesn't have much to do in the whole story, and Wolverine and his Bone Claws do not stand a chance fighting against the Phalanx. So the story actually starts off with the X-Men, well, this small strike force that would be Cyclops, Jean Grey, Cable, and Wolverine. They're arriving to Muir Island. They're trying to find where the Phalanx have kidnapped the X-Men. And what happens here, the Phalanx have already infected the whole installation. And so we have this conflict with these techno-organic aliens, where it's pretty interesting that Jean Grey and Cable are able to battle them in the astral plane. Now, I forgot to mention like this really big detail with the Phalanx, because they're trying to assimilate all of Earth to consume it. But they cannot assimilate mutants for some reason. So that is why they have captured the X-Men. They are a liability to the Phalanx. And now they're at Muir Island going through all of Moira's files, trying to find more mutants and also trying to understand the genetic makeup of the mutants, because obviously Moira has specialized in studying the mutant genome. So what happens is the X-Men are able to fend off the Phalanx. The whole thing with Wolverine in the story is that him and Cable really do not like each other, that they have like this past grudge that they just can't get over. And Wolverine also notices that there seems to be a connection between Cable and Jean Grey, and he's very protective of Jean, obviously. So our heroes are able to defeat the Phalanx, at least the ones at Muir Island, and they are able to discover where the rest of the X-Men have been kidnapped to. They're somewhere in the Swiss Alps. So that's how this issue ends. Now, in general, with the Phalanx Covenant, I had like fond memories of this crossover in general, but rereading it recently, the story is just meh. And it's so irritating to have the series that you're reading being derailed by a crossover, because this has nothing to do with what was happening in the Wolverine series at the time. So we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.